This video is sponsored. This live stream is sponsored by okjersey.com. Scan the QR code or go to okjersey.com. High quality football shirts, current, last season, the season before, vintage ones, like the ones I'm wearing. It's very simple as well. So cheap in comparison with the ones from the official stores as well. Top quality. Let me show you how actually to get one. It's that easy. You go to the website. There's all the teams. Premier Leagues, La Liga, everything is Liverpool, Manchester City, all the big teams, and even the smaller teams. If you're Newcastle, Ipswich, it doesn't matter. Current, previous, also the player's version, which is a high quality one as well. Click on it. You can pick your size and you add to cart, and boom, you got it right there. So don't forget one thing. Use the code JUDGE below to actually get an 8% discount. The code is JUDGE. Head to OK Jersey. Scan the QR code to actually get your discount and get your football shirt now. And now, let's go back to our live stream. Big up everybody that is here. Hit the like button on your way in. Yes, if people are asking me, they ship internationally. So go and support, of course, the channel. Get the code JUDGE. It gets you 88% off. It's actually great. Actually, quality of shirts, absolutely great. OK Jersey, scan the QR code or head to okjersey.com. They ship anywhere in the world, actually. US, Africa, Asia, Middle East, Europe as well. Anywhere in the world. So go and support and just click the link. Just check them out. They actually have really good... I actually checked the website yesterday. They have really good vintage jersey. But listen, we're here. Number one, Ashraf. What is this without the beard, bro? What is going on with you, Ashraf? Ashraf? He's frozen. Ashraf is actually frozen. But big up everybody that is here. Staff is with us. Dan is with us on a new show, not the National League. Osam is here. He was on the football terrace. Ashraf is here, of course. Hit the like button, people. Ashraf look like clean right there. How's everyone doing? You all right?
Yeah, all good.
Good, alhamdulillah.
Ashraf, what is this, bro?
Can you guys hear me? Because my connection went off completely. And
we can hear you. Can you hear us? Good?
Yeah, now I can. Perfect.
Yeah, great. Actually,
why'd you shave, Ashraf?
Why did you shave?
It was a mistake.
Mistake. That's a mistake.
Yeah. I tried being over smart and thinking I can just do my own trim and save the money, and yeah, it was the worst decision ever. Never again. I'm finding the most expensive barber next time.
Yeah. Big up everyone that's in. I actually thought of this video a little bit different. The reason why I thought of this video is because what Staffy sent me yesterday. So I was speaking to Staffy yesterday about the strikers in the league, actually, and who's more likely to turn it around. I included Joao Pedro there because Joao Pedro, guys, hasn't scored in 6 games. hasn't had a shot, if I'm not mistaken, like 4 games or something like this. If I'm not mistaken, he's actually not playing well for Chelsea currently. And with Enzo Fernandez being a little bit injured, what is going on? Who do we think is going to turn it around? Also, Sesko play Isak this weekend. If Sesko scored and
Well,
Isak
I know my
doesn't score.
striker scored in back-to-back games, so there's nothing he needs to turn around. We're talking about other strikers then. So let's talk about the struggling ones. Mine is not struggling.
Okay, hold on. Do you honestly think that Sesko is like, you watching him now as a better player than Gyökeres?
Oh, 100%. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. It's not a question for me.
Really?
Well, it's not a
better
question.
than
Wallah, I'm not
Gyökeres.
rage baiting.
Guys, by the way, I'm just going to tell you guys something. Staffy, I'm telling you, we all done shows with Staffy. He doesn't troll.
I'm not rage baiting. Wallah,
He
I mean
doesn't rage bait. He doesn't troll. He says what
No, I do sometimes, but it's obvious this is not one of them. But Sesko's a better player than him. He's a better striker than him. I have no problem with that at
In
all.
what aspect? In what aspect?
I don't think he's better at all.
In every aspect, just watch the games. Honestly, every time I watch Gyökeres, he looks like he's struggling. He looks like a fish out of water. He has 3 goals, but they all happen in 2 games. Who scored in 2 games as well? Sesko. Sesko scored in half the minutes, and in a 10 times worse team. I look at Sesko even before the goals that he scored in the last back-to-back games. He's been performing well. You can look at the team and say there's a lack of creation, but he's being in the right areas. He's being involved. He's good in the build-up. He's making good runs under the back post or near post. He's not really getting the crosses in. But as a striker, he's doing everything he needs to do to help his team. Whether his team gives him the service is irrelevant. But I could see the way that he could play, and I know he can actually over the hopefully next few years, as the team continues to improve, I would hope that they know how to cater for him. I look at Gyökeres, and I'm looking at the way Arteta wants to use him, and it's no surprise to me why Arteta didn't want him and he wanted Sesko. There's a reason why he wanted him for 2 years. So for people who are going to complain, I mean, if you're Arteta, and just know that your manager wanted him for 2 years. He wanted him ahead of Sesko. Ahead of Gyökeres. The only reason they couldn't get Sesko is because they got quoted for a little bit too much money that they felt like just it wasn't the right price and right time for them, especially because of his development as a player. But as a striker, he is better than him. And I think Sesko would do a lot better, actually, if he played for Arsenal right now, because Arsenal are better than us. They create more chances than us. And I think they would cater for that type of striker more than they do for Gyökeres. Gyökeres struggles. Every time I watch Gyökeres, he struggles for 50-50s. He doesn't know how to pin back a defender, doesn't know how to hold up play. And he's not getting the balls being played in behind, and he's getting runs and all that. He can't really play the way that Arteta wants him to play, which is someone who's just more in a low block, more physically dominant, good in the air. They're trying to treat him like he's Mitrovic, and he's really not. So people could say all they want, but he's played double the minutes that Sesko had in a better team, and he only scored in 2 games. He has the same output outside of penalties than Sesko. So I don't know what to tell you guys.
Ashraf?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree. I've said it from way before. Even when we were linked with him last year, I said Sesko is super overrated. I think people called him Baby Zlatan and overrated him without actually even watching him, knowing if he's good enough or not. They saw some compilations on YouTube where he was shooting from 30, 40 yards, or the goal he scored against Bayern from outside the box, and they were like, oh, what a talented striker. And I don't think he's a good striker at all. I think in front of goal, I'll take Gyökeres any day.
Did you watch him this season?
I did watch him this season. He scored 2 goals in like at least 4 or 5 games, and I've seen him miss chances as well. I just don't. I personally don't think he's, for me, the kind of striker I want, because we have your Havertz, I think Havertz also probably is a better striker than Sesko. We have players, in my opinion, who can do that kind of stuff of hold up the ball, move a little bit here and there, do that kind of stuff. We need a striker who can finish. And while Gyökeres has not looked that good in the last 2-3 games, and I'll definitely say it, I think he's not had the last good performances in the last 2-3 games, but in front of goal, I think he's a much better finisher, and that's the kind of player we need anyways. We need someone who can score goals, especially against like the bottom, like 12, 13
But can
club.
I counter this? When I watch Gyökeres at Arsenal, to be honest, because now I watch like 90 minutes, like I've watched every single minute of Arsenal this season. His first touch leads him away from goal. Even Thierry Henry was speaking about this. Other forwards as well, I think, we're speaking about this. His first touch leads him away from goal. His hold-up play is good. He passes the ball, but then when you're going to the goal, you are not setting yourself up to finish. You're setting yourself up for a difficult shot. That is a sign of a striker that will get a lot. Will not get a lot of goals because they will struggle. I'm not gonna say he's Darwin Núñez. I'm not sure if Arsenal are playing to his strengths, but when I'm watching him, I'm still not convinced that he is like a. For example, I take Ekitike ahead of him. For example, as a football player in front of the goal. You watch someone like Sesko. I don't know, to be honest. I watched Sesko in some games. He's so clunky sometimes. It's unbelievable on the ball.
If Sesko's clunky, then what is Gyökeres?
Well, I think Sesko's more clunky than Gyökeres.
Yeah, I think Gyökeres.
No, because Sesko doesn't even run with the ball. The thing about Sesko, he knows what he's good at. He gets the ball. He's good at holding up the ball, and then he just passes it to a player. Gyökeres just tries to run with it, and where does he go with it? Every time you watch him, where does he go with it?
Before we do, can we rank the forwards? Forget Haaland. You got Isak, Ekitike, Joao Pedro, Sesko, Gyökeres. Can someone rank them for me? Dan, can you rank them in your opinion for me, please?
Isak top. This season, Ekitike second, Gyökeres third, Sesko fourth, Joao Pedro fifth.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Yeah, I think that makes
sense.
Joao
Pedro fifth?
Yeah. Pedro's actually been quite poor without a creative 10 behind him. I haven't been that impressed since Cole Palmer sort of got his injury niggles. I think Joao Pedro sort of not drifted out of games. He's also had games where he's been sort of isolated on his own, where players have got sent off. He's not had the best last 2 months, but I don't think that will define his time at Chelsea. I think it'd be better.
Sorry, I actually just my bad. I missed that last part. I actually disagree. I would put Joao Pedro ahead of Sesko. I agree with Dan. He's not had good 2 months. I think quality of player, and even this season, I think he's had a better impact.
Disgusted, stuff is like, what the fuck?
Bro, I've had my opinion on Sesko from ages ago, from a year ago. It's not new.
In the summer, I said Ekitike is better than Gyökeres. They all told me to behave myself. Now I'm sitting on a panel where everyone's comfortably putting Ekitike ahead of Gyökeres. When I said it was unfamous. I'll get proven on that one right as well. No one is yet to tell me what Gyökeres done so far in the games that we watch that is better than Sesko. It's just the lazy narrative to say, oh, he was 70 million. He's a bit overrated. Yeah, let's just say he's the bottom of this list. Gyökeres, by the way, is the worst one on this list. If you want to ask me for my opinion, there's nothing Gyökeres does that is better than these guys do. Nothing. You can't name me one thing.
You made quite a good point and a fair argument, I think, with Sesko against Gyökeres. But to put Gyökeres down the bottom, I feel like that's just you hurting that.
No, not really, because I've been saying it since the summer.
Challenge your opinion on that one, because he isn't the worst on that list in front of goal. He's not. He's arguably on his day. And the last couple of seasons, well, you said he's the bottom of this list. He's below Joao Pedro. Do you not say that?
You just said in front of goal. We're rating strikers just in general right now. So everything they bring to the game.
It's not only in front of goal, as an overall forward. Which one?
A striker's main job is to score, right? And in front of goal,
I'm sorry.
Gyökeres has excelled over the last 2.5 seasons. So he can't be bottom of that list when Joao Pedro's got 10 goals. Like last season.
I would rather have Joao Pedro on my team than Gyökeres.
And I think the Ekitike one during the summer, to say that he's better than those two players with his record and his conversion rate, it wasn't unbelievable last season. He's been way more clinical this season than he was at any point at Frankfurt. And I think he's surprised people at how good he's been at Liverpool. I don't think even some Liverpool fans probably thought.
I didn't need to see a bunch of goals in the Portuguese league to say, oh, this guy's clearly better than this guy. This is what happens. We always want to get affirmations first before we say these things. And then when people say it before it, people sound crazy. People sound like haters. People just butthurt because they didn't get a certain player in the summer. No one should have watched the tapes last season going into the summer and watch Ekitike, watch Gyökeres, watch Sesko, watch Pedro, whatever you want. But to bring it back to Gyökeres and Ekitike, no one should have watched both players and said that this one is better than the other one just because he scored 50 goals or whatever in Portugal. Who gives a fuck? I saw with Sam Abu Ali bag a hat trick against a Portuguese team in the Club World Cup. Who cares? It's a dead tournament. Haaland just put 2 past them last week in the Champions League against Sporting. It's a dead league. Who cares?
It's possible, Staffy, to watch a striker score over 100 goals in 2 seasons and say he's better than the one that scored 40.
Yeah, because I have eyes. It's fine. I don't have to be deluded by stats. Stats, shit. Listen, sure. Stats are important.
I actually don't think Gyökeres and Sesko.
But what have you?
too much in it,
Sorry, go ahead,
if I'm being completely honest with you.
Say that again, Dan. I'm sorry. I want to hear this. What?
I don't think there's too much in it between Gyökeres and Sesko so far this season. I don't think it's like one is drastically better than the other.
I agree with that. I agree with this one.
I didn't say that also. I just said he's better. I'm not the one who just voted him yesterday, like the Athletic as the worst signing in the summer. When you have busts that cost 100+ million, and not one of them scored 1 goal, and one of them hasn't even scored a goal. It's just easy to go at Sesko and just say he's shit. No one just wants to watch him, and that's fine. I'm comfortable with me saying that he's better. But to sit here and just talk about him like he's absolute dog shit and Gyökeres is amazing, when no one can tell me, by the way, Ashraf, in your rebuttal, you did not rebuttal anything I said. You just kept saying, people said this last season, overrated, he's better in front of goal. That's it. That's all you said.
No,
you didn't tell me anything he's done. Not one
I
thing.
told you, for me, his biggest... I don't think he does anything that great. I think he's okay in dribbling in some moments here and there. He's not the greatest finisher. He's missed a lot of chances. His conversion rate this season in the Premier League is worse than Gyökeres. Last season in the Bundesliga, his conversion rate was like... I think it was 20-something%. It was not... I don't know. It wasn't something that mental. And I don't watch Bundesliga anymore because they don't show it in BN Sports. I don't know why they canceled the contract. But up until last season, I used to watch the Bundesliga on a regular. This guy's never been that good. People are overhyping him. He is clunky on the ball. He misses chances in front of goal a lot of times, which is why I said, why would I want to strike a like
that? He missed in front of goal this season. I just want to talk about this season.
Bro, the goal he scored against was at Brentford. Did he miss it the first time before he scored the second or the third time?
So a save is now a miss.
That is a miss when you're that close to the goal.
No, a miss is when I miss the target. If a goalkeeper forces a save and I score the rebound,
what I mean miss, I mean from that side, you should be scoring. From that distance, you should be scoring. It came to him the second time.
Who cares? He got the rebound and he scored.
Or maybe third time. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But
that's my point. 2 rebounds and he scored. I think one of them was a header. The other one was he shot to tap it in and he got a third time and scored.
Because some other games he doesn't get that rebound, and then what? Then we all sit here and say,
so your only issue with him this season is that he scored on 2 shots rather than 1 shot. That is the only bad.
Even
if my son, that's the worst thing he's done all season, it seems like he's doing something well.
He went 1-on-1 against was it against Man City, and he missed that chance as well. I think it was against Man City. He went 1-on-1 and missed that. There was another game as well. I remember when there was a chance against Man City when he ran 1-on-1 on the right side, and he missed it, or maybe
when he tried to chip the goalkeeper and they called it offside anyways.
He still missed it though. He didn't think it's offside, and that's why he missed.
A save. I think we need to differentiate what is a miss and what is a save. Can we stop saying miss when you work the goalkeeper?
He didn't score. There you go.
So
does that make sense?
So was he meant to have like 100% conversion rate? I'm very confused. No, because it's not semantics, Mo. Because I had a striker last season that wasn't even shooting on goal. Now I have a striker who's shooting on goal, but he's working the goalkeeper, he's making saves, and we're talking about it like it's an issue. So what?
But that's the problem.
You're supposed to score every shot.
Can we not speak over each other? Stop. We're not comparing Sesko to Haaland.
Exactly.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. But like, I was bantered because I had a striker who wasn't even shooting. That was fair. But if you're gonna banter a striker because the goalkeeper made a save, what are we doing here? Haaland doesn't score from every shot. Haaland scores like 1 every 4 or something like that. Do we make fun of him because he misses 3 shots and then he finally scores 1? That's not a fair way to judge a striker,
though, isn't he? Like, I think Gyökeres, it's fair to say Gyökeres is a better finisher than Sesko, and I don't think that's what
exactly. I just don't know what.
I can actually argue this very simple. I'm gonna let Dan argue, but let me hear Dan what he says, and then we.
I just think it's very hard to put that down on evidence, finishing wise. But I mean, you'd have to look into XG and a number of other stats and shots and where they're attempted from. But I think when I watch both of them play, I feel like there's a little bit more execution in what Gyökeres is trying to do and where the ball ends up going. I think some of Sesko's attempts on goal, you're saying he's 4 saves. There's moments where I think he's had shots and the save is inevitable because of the type of shot that he produced. I don't think right now Sesko is a better finisher. I think Sesko is probably better in the air than Gyökeres. I think he's potentially better in terms of his hold-up play and bringing others into play. And I think his ceiling might actually be higher than where Gyökeres' ceiling is probably, and he's probably at that ceiling around now. I don't know how much better he'll actually get. But I think right now, in terms of someone in front of goal, I'd probably favour Gyökeres in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. But I really don't think that either of them have been that far apart from each other, because I think one has strengths that the other one doesn't.
And one player had the minutes and only had 4 starts. One guy started about 10 games so far. What is it?
Yeah,
only 3
I
goals.
think by the time we get to the end of the season, we'll probably have a way bigger sample size to sort of discuss how they've both adapted to the league. But the discussion we're having is right now after sort of 10 games.
I agree with you.
I'm just defending my guy because, listen, from him to get
because he's your guy, right? That's the only reason you're defending him is because he's your guy. And if Amorim
no, it's not the only reason. No, it's not the only reason.
If Amorim had got Gyökeres, you'd be doing exactly the same. And Ashraf,
no, I wouldn't. See, now you're you're just doing assumptions and shit. Okay, so don't assume. Don't assume. I don't speak for you. Don't speak for me. Because now you're questioning my integrity when I'm talking about football.
I don't think Staffy would do this. I'm actually vouching for something.
I said Iketika is better than Sesko, and he plays for Liverpool. They're a bigger rival than us, than Arsenal. Why would I say that? Why would I say that if I genuinely think that?
I don't think he's doing that.
My whole take from the beginning.
And I just want to clarify, there are videos of me for a whole year arguing with every Arsenal fan saying Sesko should never be joining our club. And that's a bad signing.
That's for Arsenal.
He's literally since January saying Sesko should join Arsenal. So this is a take that I've been saying for months. And Sam can back me on this. I've been saying it for a while. So whether I wanted Gyökeres or I wanted Sesko or Iketika is regardless. I always thought that Sesko was a better fit for Arsenal.
And Ashraf always favored Gyökeres. Always.
Because I thought Sesko is a good fit for Arsenal. He's tall, he's dominant in the air, he has good hold-up play. He doesn't need a lot of space to run into because that's not his style of play. I thought he's more fitting for what Arteta wants to do. So that was my whole take from the beginning. Us getting him, Mo, when we got him, do you remember when I said, I think he's going to be a bust at United? I think he's a potential flop. I said that. I said, if we sign him, he's going to flop. So I wasn't even someone who really wanted him. But when you watch the games, I think Arsenal played about, 10 games so far? I can wholeheartedly tell you that I watched about 90 minutes of the 10. I probably missed 2 games. So I've watched a lot of Arsenal football. And obviously I watch every United game. I have not once looked at Gyökeres and think that he's a top striker in this league. He's generally, on talent alone, in my belief, he's one of the worst strikers in the league. And I'm not surprised that he's struggling with score goals.
You haven't watched Sesko and thought he's a top striker in the league as well, because he hasn't been good enough to be a top striker in the league right now.
He's a top striker. I just think he's better than Gyökeres. It's not as crazy take as you think it is.
Either are top strikers in the Premier League right now. I just don't think either's done enough to be considered a top striker in the league.
I agree. I just think Gyökeres will eventually come good because I think the attributes he has with finishing, once we start creating a bit more chances for him in front, I think he'll score. And the reason I didn't want Sesko is generally I don't think he's better than Havertz. And Havertz in the Bundesliga at that same age, by the way, and nobody can argue this, was much better than Sesko. Havertz came with much better hype than Sesko came in. When Havertz was in his last 2 years with Leverkusen, go check his highlights, go check his goals, go check his finishing. It was much, much better than Sesko. Why would I want a striker to come in and replicate the exact same thing someone already in our squad gives us, but does not fix our main primary issue, which is a striker who can finish in majority of their chances? We need a striker with a 30% conversion rate, even if you do nothing else on the pitch. Because we have your Jesus and your Havertz who do everything else, but the conversion in front of goal is 10%. I'm exaggerating that, obviously, but you know what I mean. It's bad.
Guys, before we go on, there is about over 600 people here and we have 80 likes. Can we get the likes up a little, guys? The like button pushes the channel to new viewers. Hit that like button, people. Let me do a couple of these super chats, actually. Doesn't mean he plays well in a bad team. He will do well in a good team. That's hyperbolic. That's about Sesko, by the way, because he plays.
And that's not what I said. I literally broke down what I thought Sesko would be, why he would be a good fit for Arsenal. I didn't just say, oh, put him in a better team. It just means he automatically does better. That would be lazy analysis. I didn't even say that. Listen to everything I say. Instead of just getting defensive, just listen to what I say. He is a better fit to what Arteta needs in this team than Gyökeres. Anyone who watches Gyökeres, no one is, by the way, has told me what has Gyökeres offered this team. I've seen him so many times just be marked out of games and does nothing. Spends half the time on the floor, half the time running, trying to make runs and doesn't even get the ball. That's it. That's all I see from him.
But I can argue that a lot of times,
he does for this team.
Can I argue this? Let me do this before we go.
It's on the previous super chat, please, Mo. Because I'm not going to talk about this that much because people were saying that when he gets marked by 2 centre-backs, it frees up positions for Saka and Martinelli and all that stuff. But I don't think that's something that important because Jesus used to do that quite regularly. But I just want to understand your point, Staffy. You're saying you'd be a better fit for Arteta's system. How would he be any different from what Havertz does for us? Except for his long-range shooting, which we cannot do anyways because teams play low block against us.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You're the one who compared them to Havertz. I think that's a ridiculous take anyways.
How? What does he do better than Havertz outside the long-range shots?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I need to debate this. If you genuinely think as strikers, Havertz and Sesko or anything similar, then that's just on you.
Yeah,
I don't even need to speak about it because I didn't even make the comparison.
Yeah, but you're saying he's going to offer something different. What different? Okay, forget that. What is the different thing he would have offered us if he joined Arteta's system?
Box presence. A lot more than anything that you have.
Havertz has been a box presence.
Look at Havertz. No, but I think of Havertz. So I think of Havertz as someone who's a little bit more tidier with his feet. So if you want to talk about all three strikers, I think Havertz is way more comfortable and way more technical than all these guys on the ball. Whether he drops in the midfield or just offers options in both wide areas, I kind of get that. I'm talking about someone who's purely dominant in the box. You are a team that relies heavily on set pieces, and that's fine. That's not a shame. When you are a very good aerial team and there's a 6'5" striker out there who can come in and just be an extra weapon in that, not just on set pieces, when you go long, when you need someone just to hold up the ball and all that, that is all stuff that Arteta looks for, and I think he's good at.
And that is every single thing you've mentioned right now are things Havertz does. Dominates the box, wins the aerial threat. Every time we go long, he wins the headers and brings it down to our players. He just doesn't finish. It's literally everything.
Because he has no presence in the box. That's the point I'm trying to say. If you play him as just if you play Sesko as someone who I just need you to be in the box when we go long or when we cross the ball and where we have set pieces, plus he can still finish the ball. You guys are talking about him like he's a below average finisher. Like he'll still finish his chances, bro. Like let's not talk about him like he's not a professional Premier League footballer.
Havertz. Yeah, he'll finish like Havertz, which we don't need.
You just keep comparing him to Havertz. I don't know what to tell you. Like you want me to
because that's who we have.
Shoot the ball. Like the only way for me to make Sesko sound good now is if I say Havertz doesn't know how to shoot the ball. I'm not going to say that.
No, but I agree with the shooting part, but I already told you that unfortunately, because of the way we play, we don't have a lot of open spaces where we take shots, which is why you'll see our strikers and our midfielders don't take a lot of shots from outside the box. We have, anyways, sorry, Mo. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not annoyed because of what I'm doing. Mo, you missed the best striker signing this season in your list, Voltemada. He has looked the best version of Ekitike, Sesko, Gyökeres put together. You guys know the stat of Voltemada against, who did he play the last game?
Because of headers.
Forest. Northern Ireland.
Do you know the stat? It's a record in the Premier League. He hasn't lost the ball once, receiving the ball every time. He connected 100% of his passes.
He's amazing on the ball. Another one who's better than you.
Someone actually said that stat and said there is no striker in the history of the Premier League that didn't lose the ball once. And by the way, they played a lot of long balls to him and back to goal. Anyway,
Voltemada scored yesterday. Well, Gyökeres couldn't score against Kosovo, but I can't have this conversation about Gyökeres. Gyökeres is amazing, guys.
No, Isak.
Yeah, but I know I've seen. I'll be honest. I've seen Isak be actually like elite in the Premier League. I can make fun of his form, but I would be disingenuous if I tried to tell you he's not a good striker. That is the difference. Like I'll make fun of Isak right now as he's down because I know eventually he'll be good again. But bro, I'm sorry, this Brock Lesnar guy, no one is gonna fool me or gonna try to pretend that this guy's a good striker. He hasn't been good, he hasn't been performing, and I'm supposed to sit here and just because everyone wants me to say he's good and the narrative says he's good, I'm just gonna follow that. No, I'm sorry. I watch football games and he's been crap, bro.
So
guys, what does possession lost mean? I'm assuming it means you have the ball and someone got it off you.
Dispossess you.
Yeah, he lost the ball. He lost the ball 5 times against Forest. So I don't know where people came up with that crap.
That's what the commentator said. Maybe he connected.
I'm looking at it right
100%.
No, yes, he did that. 17 out of 17, correct.
Yeah. So every time they played him the ball, he connected 100% of his passes, his link-up play. That's what they meant. Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. Football isn't what it used to be. Fans cry about players when we haven't even finished 10 games. I've heard Havertz, Isak, Gyökeres slander as if we are on game week 21.
Unfortunately, I blame Mo because Mo asked me to come here today and give an opinion. So if me giving an opinion, by the way, that's being asked for, I didn't volunteer my opinion. I didn't say, Mo, can you please put me on your show today so I can talk about Gyökeres and give my opinion? I didn't do that. Mo said, hey, Staffy, can you come on the show tomorrow? I said, sure, Mo. So if you have an issue with that, go ask Mo why he brought the 5 of us here and decided to talk about strikers. Because if that's crying, then we're all criers, I guess.
Staffy, if you
Also,
didn't-
by the
if
way,
you didn't
guys,
want
this
him,
has
by the
been
way.
Staffy's
Oh,
opinion
sorry.
before a ball was kicked, so he's not being reactionary.
Truth and Staffy's opinion since
Thank you,
last
sir.
season when Arsenal were linked to both Gyökeres.
This was Staffy's opinion literally the whole summer, from beginning, from when Gyökeres was linked to United, from when Sesko was linked to Arsenal. He has maintained this opinion for the longest time, so he hasn't changed his mind on this at all.
I said Sesko fits Arsenal, Gyökeres fits United. To be fair, I never thought Ekitike was going to Liverpool, so I didn't speak about him. I just thought he was decent, and that's it. And it's been like that for months. It's been almost a year.
Is Sesko, so you didn't think he suited you as much as he suited Arsenal? Is he a good option for you? I know you really like him, what you've seen, but is he the answer going forward?
See, that's
In
a better
terms
question.
of what?
Is he going to be good enough?
That's a very good question, actually.
I mean,
That's a better question.
I get what you mean. I don't want to. Okay, so if you ask me the way I think he's going to be a good striker, then sure. If you're asking me how much he's going to succeed at United, I already think from the performances he's put, he's actually looked better than I thought he would, because I predicted him to flop. So I actually think he's been better than I personally thought he would be. Whether he comes good long term, I think he'll be a good striker. In terms of at United, honestly, this team is so unpredictable because of how bad we've been. I can't sit here and guarantee you he's going to be a success in terms of, we're going to be such a good team and he's going to lead the line and we're going to score a lot of goals. I do think his individual development is good, but as a team development, I feel like I don't really have an honest judgment for it. I don't even know if this manager is going to continue or not. I feel like he would look better playing in a different system under a different manager.
Does he suit Amorim's style of football, or does he clash? Or
who cares? Honestly, I don't think anyone suits Amorim's style of football at this point. I can name you like the whole squad doesn't feel me short.
You don't want to hear that one.
I didn't think Gyökeres fit what we did, though, because first of all, that was his manager, and I felt like we play a lot on the transition. I felt like he was more of a transition striker than Sesko. So that's why I was like, you know what, he fits United more. Because a lot of people say, didn't you want him in the summer? I was like, yeah, because I thought he's a better fit. But equally, if I said Sesko should go to a title contending Arsenal, that should automatically insinuate that I think he's the better player because I think he should go to the better team. But I guess people didn't get that.
I think both teams would have been better off signing Osimhen.
Yeah, of course. But we knew that wasn't going to happen.
I don't think that's an argument. Osimhen is just better.
Yeah, I just think that's crazy. He didn't end up in the Prem. I know his wages are like nuts, but I think these teams could have paid that.
Habib, if you get 500 grand a week, you're also ending up with Galatasaray. So let's just be serious.
You know what,
Galatasaray offered him so much money. He couldn't reject. And at the same time, to be fair, Galatasaray are in the Champions League too. So it's not like he's not going to play.
I don't disagree with that, but I think I would take a pay cut probably to play in the Premier League if it was still like 300 grand. I know we're talking about a huge amount of money, and 200. No one's going to turn down 200 grand probably in their right mind a week, right? But I think for me as a striker who's like 26, I'd probably want to play in the best league in the world, proving that I'm good enough to play in the best league in the world.
No, I accept that, but we need to understand not all footballers move the same way. Like, even, by the way, this applies as well to like content creators and everyone just in life generally. Like, many people are in football content creation for money, not for passion. Many people are in this work that we do just purely for monetary reasons. Not everyone is in love with the sport like a lot of people are. You know, famously, Ben White doesn't watch football. Benoit Cotto, Tottenham left back, says he doesn't even like.
Gareth Bale said he would rather play golf than watch football or even train. He said I played because I was just good at it.
If I was in that situation, Dan, I agree with you. I personally would have taken the risk of going to a Liverpool or a Chelsea or an Arsenal.
Because I think if you smash it at one of the best teams in the Premier League for like the next 4 or 5 years and you're 31, the payday comes. I'm guarantee you'll go and get the 500 grand a week salary at 31 if you really wanted it.
But I don't think that Osimhen trusts himself to actually smash it to that level. But you remember that there's only two players. There's only two guys. There's only two players that get that much money. That one of them, his name is Erling Haaland, and he's like, Osimhen isn't going to be Erling Haaland. And the second one is Mohamed Salah, who only got the 400K because he was on course to break that record ever in the Premier League.
Yeah, but say he gets 250, right? And then Havertz is on like 300. If Osimhen's getting 250 a week or something at one of the top clubs, and then the bonus that he'll be on, and if he does put up numbers, he'll be taking home a huge salary.
And how much money does the government take compared to Turkey?
That's another question.
Yeah, to be fair, that is very true.
That is a different thing. That
Let's not open up that kind of words right there.
let's not go there.
It's very true.
Let's not go there.
How
Let me
much
do
are you
some.
going to be paying the British government, my brother?
Okay, let's just finish this before moving on. But Tesco give me Voltemada, but no one wanted Voltemada. Even the freaking Bar.
Oh, you know why, Mo? Because there was no. Now that they're getting the confirmation, now they're seeing the goals. It's just who football fans are. No one has the balls to come out and say, "I think this is better than this." And I'm going to predict it. Everyone just wants to see. It's like a group of sheep. This guy scored a lot of goals. Yay. Let's also be on this side. Oh, no, this guy's better now. They all run like sheep on the other side. And anyone who stands in the middle has a different opinion. He's deluded. He's a crier. He's this, is that. No one was talking about Walter-Made a month ago. Now they're saying, give me Walter-Made over this, Walter-Made over that.
Before the summer,
I never said anything about Walter-Made because I didn't know him.
He's talking about.
I didn't want
chat because everyone in the chat.
I'm not dissing you guys. Obviously, I'm not dissing you.
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat is saying, "Cry, Staffy, cry more." You got Tesco. You got Tesco. This is how it works. Tesco. I said, well, Staffy isn't completely correct because Gyökeres, here you go, helped force a change at Arsenal's attack and play this season. If we got Sesko, would have been inundated with that.
Who the fuck gets American passports?
With the same, but though,
yeah, a lot of Americans don't even speak English.
That's true.
He doesn't know.
They don't know proper grammar. I don't know what you're saying.
He doesn't know. Inundated with the same lame football as last season. Give it time, guys.
I think he's given us something similar to what Jesus gave us a couple of years ago. It's just that Jesus was a much better dribbler and did a lot more damage. But in the sense that he allowed the wingers to make a lot more runs.
I will say this. He does give a different element. And I did say when you guys signed him that number one, it was an ambitious move because you did go and look at the Gyökeres and said, you know what? He scored the most goals than anyone else in Europe last season. Let's go get him. So in terms of like ambition, sure, that's an ambitious move because you went after the stat and you saw the goals and said, let's sign him. My only thing is that I never thought that Arteta's going to play the way that caters for him. So it kind of like cancels out. You know what I'm saying? Sure, there's games where he looks good. I thought he looked very good in the Newcastle first half because there was a lot of space being afforded. He's good at hunting the ball. Like loose balls from the back line or whatever. He's good at pressing and he does offer runs. So if you want someone to stretch out the back line, sure. But like, I'll be honest, bro, I'm not going to just judge a striker and say, oh, he occupied a defender today. That's a great signing. No, that's a lot more needed because like when you look at the goals that he brought before he came in, that's technically what we should be judging him for. But we're not going to see that. I don't think we're ever going to see that at Arsenal. I
need to do the next Superchats and I need to ask Staffy a question that is related to what he's talking about. Guys.
Here we go. You're going to make me cry again? Okay.
No. Guys, get the likes up, people, please. Thank you, Tyler. Sometimes the chat is very ungrateful. It's international break. They put hours of work. You're here watching for free. Most of you can't even click the like button. Miserable people.
Well, big up Tyler Jones.
Tyler for this calling out the chat. For free content, just hit the damn like, people. It's simple. It doesn't cost you a penny. Thank you, Tyler, for reminding people. Do you guarantee Gyökeres zero improvement?
What is he going to improve on?
I can guarantee zero improvement, though.
But like when we say improvement, what are we saying? Like, so
well,
like,
are you asking about
example,
improve as a footballer? Improve as a footballer, I can almost guarantee that a 27-year-old striker is not going to now improve. If you're saying improve in terms of goals, he can improve, of course.
Exactly.
Like, I disagree with both of you, but fine. First hand.
What do you disagree with?
I said almost guarantee.
Just quickly. Almost.
No, I said almost guarantee.
Okay.
Not
so there are exceptions.
Salah
so give me examples.
Diego Milito.
No. I'm not talking about that. Like, give me examples of what he's going to improve on. Like, what do you think he's going to improve on?
Can I actually tell you something for true, Staffy? Within 7 games, Gyökeres improved. Like, within 7 games.
What did he improve on?
I agree.
First up,
his link-up play was a lot better.
Passing improved massively. Ball control when the ball is played to him improved. Me and Osam were talking about this the other day. He's like, okay, this Gyökeres guy is now getting the ball down and passing the ball better.
Yeah. Bro, against Olympiacos.
And also, Staffy, strikers, when they get in a league, new league, some of them might not work at all. some of them, it takes them time to actually get up to the physical, how the defenders work, the tactics of the oppositions. Like they are used to certain way of playing.
Which is why I don't just suck off every signing and say they're all going to bang. By that
100%,
logic,
no one
there
said
should have
that.
never been flops in Premier League history. Surely someone was going to flop, and that's fine. That's just how football is.
Darwin Núñez stayed 3 years at Liverpool and he never adapted. Never adapted to the way Liverpool play, to how the oppositions play. Never adapted. What's his name? The Chelsea guy, Nkunku. Every time he plays, yes, he comes back from injury and he's never adapted to the speed and how. Timo Werner never adapted. I would actually argue that Kai Havertz joined as the wonder kid from Germany and never adapted to the Premier League and how Chelsea play. Never adapted to the Premier League. Even though he scored a goal, every time Chelsea fans would watch him, he's like, bro, you're moving wrong, your passes are wrong, everything is wrong about you, that it doesn't suit this league. Maybe go back to the Bundesliga. You remember, they were trying to sell him to Bayern Munich before they sold him to Arsenal. Because they were thinking...
But just let me get this straight. So
remember, they begged Bayern Munich to come and get him. They begged Bayern Munich to come and get him.
So I just want to know something. So you're telling me he improved his first touch?
Yes.
His ball control, which is absolutely horrible, by the way. But you think he improved on those?
I did.
Okay. I just wanted to know because here's what's really, really funny. Now that he's not banging goals, people are trying to say, but look what he's adding to the team. I was not hearing this conversation
now,
when Sesko wasn't getting goals.
Now, here is the question. Great question. Here's the question. So Arsenal wanted a striker to bang in goals. So based on your explanation, and I don't want you only to be the one taking over the show because we have other people as well, but I'm going to ask you, start with this. You don't think that Gyökeres is going to help Arsenal win the league, or do you think they made the wrong signing and they won't win the league because they didn't sign the right striker?
I don't think they'll win or lose the league because of him.
Okay.
I do think they're good enough to win the league. I'll be honest.
Even with Gyökeres, even though they wanted a striker, that's one that was missing with a striker.
So I actually think from watching them, that's my opinion at least, I do think they're missing Havertz. I think when Havertz is back, I don't think Arsenal have a striker who's good enough to start every game and finish every game. I don't think they have a 90-minute striker. I think there's games where I think is going to be more suited to Havertz, and I think there's going to be games that's more suited for Gyökeres. That's up to the manager to decide that. I do think they have a deep enough squad, though, where they can go and win the league. That's one thing right now I feel like they have over Liverpool. Liverpool might have the better starting 11, but I do think that the fact that, what was the last game Arsenal played in the league? Was it the Newcastle one or was there another one? But anyways, regardless, I saw some of the subs that they were making.
They won 2-0 against West Ham.
There's games where they're starting now as in the midfield. Games where Odegaard's starting. There's games where Marino starting. Obviously, they have a couple injuries, but when the Madueke back, I thought Madueke was half decent for them in the beginning. Martinelli coming off the bench, couple games in a row, he was bringing goals. I'm looking at the options that they're bringing on. There is a lot of options. Whether you like all of them or not is irrelevant. I do think they have a lot of options coming off the bench. I don't think there's any team competing with them right now that can bring on that many players. Even in the back line, when Saliba got injured, Mascara came on, he looked okay. Timber plays on the left, plays on the right. I do think their team is good enough to go and win the league, whether they win it or not. But if you're going to ask me, is Gyökeres going to be the reason they win it or not, I don't think so. I think they can win with him being bad, and they can obviously win with him being good anyways. Like, I don't think he'll be the defining point. No, I don't think that. They're going to score a lot of goals from away from him anyways. He's not going to... I still don't think he even gets 20 goals in the league. I don't think so. It's looking more likely anyways. At this rate, if he scores 15, it's going to look good.
But anybody else want that picture? You know why I'm laughing? Because I think that if Kai Havertz starts 38 games as a striker, he'll score 20 goals. So basically, he shouldn't have bought a striker, just stuck with Havertz.
Wait, you think Havertz would score 20?
38 games for Arsenal? Yes.
Like if he comes back right now, you think, okay, I mean, it might be too late for him to score 20. But you're talking about like right now.
No, like Mo's saying if he had a full season, he'd probably score 20 goals.
Yeah, like 30. Okay, nobody starts 38 games, like 34 games. Yeah, it might actually.
I agree with that.
But that's with Gyökeres in the team, or are you just doing it a hypothetical if he wasn't there?
What?
So are you doing that hypothetical if they didn't sign Gyökeres, or are you even saying like right now, even when they do have Gyökeres, if he would have started this season?
No, like 34 games for Havertz as the main striker. Yes, I think 20 goals. Yes.
Okay.
I think they signed Gyökeres for a certain type of game where last season Havertz probably didn't do enough in. I think they needed a striker where they felt that he could be like a battering ram and have the physical side of the game probably as more of an attribute to his own game than what Havertz does. And I think that's somewhere where I think Gyökeres does excel. I think he's more willing to go into physical games. I think he's more willing to take a defender with him into situations and try to bully them. So I think he's definitely a better option for Arsenal in some areas than what Havertz will be in every game. And I think there'll be moments where Havertz will come up trumps for Arsenal, as he's already done, because he's been a really good signing for them. You can't deny it.
Has he?
What, Havertz?
I don't think he has.
You don't think he's been a good signing for Arsenal?
No, not yet. Maybe if
I'm
depending.
not sure. Like, you've got to think, right? The player that Chelsea fans were happy to get rid of is a player that's scoring, 15 to 20 goals for Arsenal, and he's all right. He's had.
He isn't scoring 15 or 20 goals though.
He
scored.
Has he not?
He scored 13 in his first season, 13 and 7. And second season, he obviously got injured, fair enough, but he had 9 in like 21 or something like that.
Yeah, so he would have been on course to do that as well. I think Havertz has been a good signing.
21 is pretty good. This is really, really good.
I think he's been a good signing for Arsenal. I think you're doing too much to say that he hasn't been.
I don't think. I mean, I think when you give the context of the fact
better
that
than he was at Chelsea by quite some way.
Yeah, but that's not the metric for whether he's being good or not. Like him being better, yes, I agree. He has improved, but the reality is, I think Jesus before him, when he was fit in the 22-23 season, was a lot more impactful as a striker than Havertz was with us. The reality is he doing well with us? Okay, yeah, he didn't do well. I don't think he did well. I think he did average with us, because for that kind of money signing, we should be getting a striker that gives us 20 plus league goals on a consistent season.
City cost 60 million.
65 million. Yeah,
I don't think that's bad value in terms of what
Aubameyang cost less than him and was our tops and was banging 20 plus goals.
When did you sign Aubameyang, Ashraf?
2019 or 2018, sorry.
Okay, so when did you sign Havertz?
23, 24.
Yeah,
but that's the point. Like, we only signed one more striker between them.
Then, though, I think if you were signing Aubameyang at that point, then from Dortmund to Arsenal, he wouldn't cost that in the same year that Havertz moved from Chelsea to.
I agree,
Arsenal.
but
and I also think Aubameyang, where Aubameyang was as a striker for Dortmund, is a completely different position where Havertz was at Chelsea. Like Chelsea probably didn't want Havertz anymore.
But that's a bigger problem, right?
Move him on.
But that's a bigger problem because you basically signed someone.
Well, I also think that year that you signed, Aubameyang, I think the striker market was probably a lot deeper and with a lot more like prospective options for a number of different teams. I think there were far more quality strikers in and around the market and football at that time than there was.
I don't think there was a lot of quality strikers that were available, to be honest. Like I could easily argue that by that logic, Osimhen was available in the last few windows. I think there was obviously Isak was available a year ago.
You don't think there were better strikers around when you signed Aubameyang?
There were better strikers, but they weren't
definitely better. No, I'm not saying that, but I just think the striker market in general was far greater in 2019 before 20.
Yeah, I hear you, but you still have to apply that context of we were going for a title race or trying to go for another title race. And in my opinion, when you're spending 65 million on a player that way, if we signed him and signed a quality striker as well, I wouldn't have an issue at all. I would say his impact then would have been good enough. But the problem is signing him meant we didn't sign another striker, and he didn't do a great job as a striker, in my opinion. That first season, fair enough. He had a good purple patch from Jan to May, scored a lot of goals, had assists. But then it died off literally the season after. Even before his injury.
You didn't sign him as an out-and-out striker because he didn't even play there at first.
Which makes it even worse, right? That's exactly why.
No, I don't think it does. I arguably think it means he's done an even better job as a striker at Arsenal.
Not really. I think as a
striker, that he's been played as the striker, his numbers are fantastic at Arsenal. They're way above average.
No, they're not. Have you seen what numbers does he have as a striker? What do you think his numbers are as a striker?
You just said they're 9 and 21 last season, and then the season
That's
before.
That's not good. How's that good?
What? 1 and 2 is great. What are we doing here?
9 and 21
1 and 2 is great for a striker. That's not.
I don't think that's good, man. Not for the kind of Sanchez especially when you consider some of the games like United and the FA Cup, Newcastle.
I don't know where your judgment has been skewed somewhere along the line, but if a player's scoring 1 and 2, that's pretty decent for a striker. I don't know what you're expecting them to do.
Not when you apply the context, Dan, of the chances he missed as well.
No, because
he got knocked out against United and Newcastle.
He also puts the ball in the back of the net every other game. which I think you need to remember that that's a rarity when it comes to some strikers. They aren't quite that good. They aren't quite that consistent, or they'll be good for a period of time. But then when you evaluate their numbers at the end of a season, they might be 1 in 3, 1 in 4.
I hear you.
Havertz, whilst he's played up front for Arsenal, has been a good player.
But the problem with that is that doesn't win you the league.
Haaland, no, it doesn't win you the league when you've got players like Erling Haaland or Mohamed Salah that are absolute monsters in terms of numbers, right?
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think Havertz has been bad. You can do far worse in terms of numbers.
I don't think he's been bad. I don't think he's been good though. I was arguing against your definition of him being good. I don't think he's a good signing.
It's not the goals that he scored in 21 games. The point.
My bad. 9 in 23. Sorry, I just checked it. You're right, Adam. It's 9 in 23. So not
anyway.
21.
The point he's making is not even the goal return. The point he's making is the amount of misses. That's the thing that, because Darwin Núñez, even I think 2 seasons ago, had like 11 and 27 or something like. So it's not necessarily 1 and 2, but it's like similar ish numbers, 1 and 3, whatever it is. The issue is the amount of misses, and it's all notable misses, like in games that are must-win games for Arsenal. Like he turned up short for them. Just like, by the way, FA Cup, remember they were playing against 10-man Man United. Everyone remembers those misses.
But that's
Newcastle home and away.
That's why they've signed Gyökeres, because they know there are those moments with Havertz where he obviously has had misses or big moments where they argue we could have done better. But I still think he's been good. I still think for 60 million to get a striker scoring at that rate who wasn't really signed as an out-and-out striker, I don't think it's
I think them signing Gyökeres is a clear sign that Havertz wasn't a good sign, because as you mentioned,
I don't think Havertz was ever signed as an out-and-out striker though. But I also think
okay, so that backs up my argument, because if he was signed as a midfielder, that experiment clearly failed, and he's had very, very bad performances there. Moved to a striker, and then a year later we signed a striker because he wasn't good enough. If he was that good, we would have kept him and Jesus only. We didn't need to get a third striker.
No, you wouldn't have, because I think Arsenal have probably looked at Jesus and felt that it isn't someone they can rely on anymore. That's why they've gone and bought another striker in the market this summer, because Jesus's reliability in the last couple of seasons has let Arsenal down. There's no denying that. If they'd have had a fit Jesus, you may have or may have not have done better than what you've done.
Yeah, but then we also looked at Sesko last season, right? So then why would we look at another striker last season when last season we were not done with it?
Sesko, okay. So your manager wanted
to let it go, Staffy. But my point is,
just want to make sure.
We've looked at a striker last season. We've looked at a striker this summer as well. In my opinion, because he failed the midfield experiment clearly. So just by that definition itself, it wasn't a good signing.
So, and then your manager signed him as a midfielder. So when does the scrutiny go onto your manager for wanting him as a midfielder?
I've always, Dan, you know me, I've never once defended Arteta on that kind of stuff. I've said he's made a big mistake by signing him.
I just think if you signed a striker for 60 million and they put up, rough numbers of 1 in 2, I don't think that's awful value in this day and age. I really don't. I think to go and get better than that, they're going to cost way over 100 million.
I actually think for 60 million, 1 in 2 means 19 goals a season. I think that's fucking
good, Mo, right? That's pretty good.
Should I give you another context?
No, I'm gonna tell you something, Ashraf. If freaking Joao Pedro scored from 15 to 20 goals, Joseph has to be so fucking happy with that return. Amazing.
Well, he's got 32 GA in 60 in 60 games.
Who's that?
Yeah, GA, not goals. GA.
Yeah, but remember,
that's not a good return.
I'm not saying that Havertz has been good to Arsenal. I'm never going to say Havertz has been good to Arsenal, because I genuinely believe, okay, it's my take on it. I actually think the downfall of what happened to Arsenal is actually the 65 million that spent on Kai Havertz. Because that was just, in my opinion, I think if that 65 million was spent somewhere else, Arsenal might have been sitting here with a trophy, a cup, or a league, or something, right? Because they tried him as a midfielder, it didn't work out. They tried him as a forward, it worked out to some extent. It wasn't great. It was like, yeah, as that. The problem is, Dan, is what you're missing. What you're saying is not wrong, right? But Arsenal wanted, when they spent that money, they thought that some of the fans or some of the people said that they're getting much better than this. They thought that the 65 million, some people said that that 65 million was supposed to be the missing piece. This is it.
Yeah, but we had this discussion so many times, man, on the Rational League, obviously, where we've said that the Havertz signing is the signing they should have made now, when they were looking to add to their squad, and the signing that they should have made then was probably the striker that got them over the line to win the league, right? And Havertz is the versatility player that comes in, chips in with goals, can play in a number of positions. Yeah, I agree. I think if you're building a squad out, it probably then highlights the issues that they had with Edu and Arteta not being able to build a squad properly, which is what I've said is the number one reason Arsenal haven't won a league is because of the failure in squad building with Edu and Arteta. I think it's the main reason. Let
me put this couple of super chats quickly. Ahmed is saying, regardless of everything, Inter are still trash. Okay, Ahmed, when we face you and we finish above you, who do you play in the Champions League? Just let me know, bro.
Yes! Don't lose the league to Haaland, bro. Listen, I already sent you on my academy player last season.
Albania.
If I send you a reject and he wins the league on your head top, I don't want people looking for me. I want people looking for you, bro. That's all.
We lose the league to one of the best league managers in the modern era.
Here we go again. With
this. Let me do this.
Always finds a way to make it about Conte.
Moving on, Hamid. See, you always
do Conte, you love Conte.
Listen, if I lose the league to Allegro, I respect the guy's work. He's fantastic. Get this fraud Arsenal fan off. Kai wasn't signed as a striker. This Arsenal fan is too much in his feelings and biased. 19 other teams you can go support. Come on, you owners.
Yeah, I saw these guys think
hold on. I'm not gonna lie. I respect the hate, but the reality is, okay, I'll just to entertain, because you super chatted, I'll show some respect and respond, even though you sound like an idiot. He wasn't signed as a striker. What was he signed to do? He was signed to play as an advanced 8 who could score goals and assist. He didn't do that either, which is why the experiment was such an abstract failure that he got thrown as a striker. When he used to play in the midfield with with Rice and Odegaard, go check the stats, he used to have less than half their touches as a midfielder. So please do your research. Well, thanks for the super chat, Stoyan.
Yeah. Some is that.
We're 1-0 up against Albania. I just celebrated the goal. Sorry.
Who cares? Didn't you already qualify?
Albania, bro. Who gives a shit?
Bro,
is that a friendly game? It's a friendly game.
A European team as an Arab team is a massive thing, bro.
Not Albania, bro.
Albania?
Not Albania. Not Albania.
No, not Albania.
Yeah, guys.
Not Albania, bro.
Jordan are on the up when it comes to football, okay? So don't tell me what I can celebrate, can't celebrate. This is a big deal.
Who told you not to celebrate?
Who told you not to celebrate, bro?
I've got 3-time AFCON winner telling me don't celebrate. I never seen my country win anything. This is a big moment.
Who is your best player, Hassan?
He plays in the French league.
Tamari.
Musa Tamari.
Tamari.
Cool.
I want to move on from Kai Havertz. I don't know. Tyler is saying Shez is chess without the T. Top 4 is the goal now. He thinks he's playing chess, but it's just Shez. Let me stop. I don't know where you got this. Shez hasn't said a word on this show. Where is this coming from?
Well,
Hold on.
Well, I said nothing to anybody this whole show.
Hold on. Unless Tyler saw Shez somewhere else or saw Shez on his channel saying
that content for so long. Genuinely, I haven't.
All right. Okay.
Big up Tyler Jones is on a lot of channels. I always see him showing love.
Yeah, we'll talk about Chelsea in a bit. Staffy, you'll finish 13th. Don't talk like that.
Irrelevant to what I said, and I'm not 13th. I'm 10th. So please get your facts correct.
Jackson got 34 GA in 65 games, whereas Havertz has 32 GA in 66 games. Jackson cost 30 million versus 65 million. Kai Havertz is paid 300k. Jackson is considered bad.
Exactly.
Jackson's considering Jackson bad, by the way. That's not true.
The majority of Chelsea fans then. Maybe not you.
Oh, no, I don't think
maybe
they
not
are.
you.
It's probably the same frustration that Astros has with Havertz, that there's so many more chances he could have taken.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that makes a player bad. I don't think.
Bad maybe is an extreme word. Yeah, fair. I hear that.
Arsenal was telling me Sesko was hitting the target and not scoring. That was bad. Okay, the goalpost shifted here. Okay,
is actually remarkably good value. I think he's really good value to pay that what we did for him and for him to do what he did.
Guys, all I have to tell you, forget anyone talking about Jackson. Chelsea are doubling their money on Jackson, so they won. That's it. Bayern Munich are paying the money.
Yeah, but then that suggests, Mo, then that suggests that if they do get 60 to 70 million for Jackson, it suggests that fair market value
Well
for
done
a
to
pig
Al
in that
Fardan
GA is about 60 to 70
for what
million.
they're doing. Correct.
Sam, that's what Chelsea want. They want double the money on this player, double the money on that
but you're
player.
saying
This is
that's
what they want.
Chelsea want. Okay, so now how does that? No, because I'm actually going to destroy your point here. How does that help Chelsea win? Meaning, Liverpool not doubled, times 100 their money on Felipe Coutinho. We took that money, signed Alisson, Van Dijk, now whoever we signed that summer, right? Okay, are Chelsea going to take the double money that they got from Jackson and go buy 2-3 world-class players to win the league? Or are Chelsea going to take that money and go buy 4 more Nicholas Jacksons so that they can sell them again?
They will go buy 4 more Nicholas Jacksons.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe.
That's the reality.
And actually, even from an accountant perspective, 1 second, even from an accountant perspective, how many of those 4
You're not an accountant. How can you speak from an accountant's perspective when you're not an accountant?
No, I'm saying because Mo made it about like the money, right? So I'm just asking from an accountant perspective, because Chelsea fans have to be accountant now. So even from an accountant perspective, how many of those 4 Nicholas Jacksons that are going to buy are going to end up being Nicholas Jacksons? Can you guarantee that they'll sell Gittins for profit? Can you guarantee that they'll sell Mudryk for profit? Can you guarantee that they'll sell any of these guys for profit? No, not everyone's guaranteed.
To be fair,
Badiashile is not going to be profit. Saski is not going to be profit.
No, good segue to the mighty Chelsea.
No, hang on. I want to hear Chelsea's answer.
in the case of the Jackson sale, it's proposed to be, was it 75 million euros, right? Or 80 million euros? For the price of the lap and Joao Pedro being around 80, it probably is worth the money.
Oh,
but
okay. No one made that point.
I'm saying that you used to
he's making that point.
Thanks, Chad. Great.
Sam, you interrupt me for a reason.
He is making that point now.
In the case you said 3 world class players, I agree. You're not going to go and do that, but I still think Joao Pedro and the lap will do more than what Jackson did for the same price.
You're missing the point. I'm not cussing Chelsea for making profit on a player.
Never said you were cussing.
That's actually smart business. I get that point. But the reason why clubs do smart business is to reinvest the smart business into players that will help elevate their team. That's it.
I just said those 2 players will elevate our team, though. I think they will.
Yeah, but
in that case,
do some clubs not do it to make money as the first priority, and then
and I think that's the wrong priority then.
I think we agree on that.
Yeah, that's part we agree on. We have to agree on Dan. There's no way by definition you cannot disagree on that. I promise
I agree with you.
I promise you next week if Gittins is through on goal against Forest and he misses, you're not gonna go like, yes, we're gonna sell him for profit.
I'm not saying. I don't think the priority for me isn't about making money, because the money never touches my pocket. But I'm saying I think some clubs' priority is money rather than what they build their team to be. Because I personally believe that if we're getting onto Chelsea, I believe that the owner's number 1 priority is to make money on Chelsea and make a return for their investors. Has to be.
Someone asked me.
That's the priority for all American owners.
I want to move to Chelsea because someone asked me a question on a show yesterday, and I wanted to bring it up to the panel. Staffy, another crap player, McTominay, won Serie A.
That says a lot about Mo's league.
It's not my league. I didn't invent the motherfucker league. It's not my league.
I don't know United. You hold me accountable to everything United do.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I never do. I only hold you accountable to your opinion.
About United, all these players that have left, and the
amount. I'll be honest with you, Staffy.
Wait, let them finish. I want to hear what you said.
Hold on, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan.
You're a fraud. I want you to know this.
Why am I fraud? The fuck did I do?
He says that you're the reason why United are relevant, and you're not.
Mo said that.
Like Mo.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's a good thing. He gave me praise, bro. That's good. I'll take that.
You a lot, actually. A lot.
Staffy was so happy saying he's 10th now. That's a new low for me.
Let me set an example out of Hamid right now. All right, guys. The class is in session. All right. I'm gonna wipe the floor with Hamid right now. The comment that I made was about Napoli winning the league. He somehow made it about United. He voluntarily spoke about United. I didn't volunteer the information. He did. He said 13th. I corrected him. Now he's butthurt and he's saying, I'm happy to talk about being 10th. How about you just know that you were wrong and just accept it and move on? And next time, just stick to the topic. If we weren't talking about United, don't volunteer the information and I won't make a comment. Have a great day, Hamid.
Whenever I go watch Dan glazing every Arsenal player, even shit like Havertz and criticize his own players with respect. I don't understand why.
Who have I criticised?
I don't know.
I
I don't know, VP, what are you talking about?
I actually think that is quite objective. I don't think he's
I don't
saying
ever
it's
criticize someone without fair reason. I don't praise anyone without fair reason.
Exactly,
That is
though. I don't.
and very rational as well. So
Yeah, I
think
don't
that is very
understand.
rational.
Because I'm tell you why. Because the new YouTube, you have to back your players regardless of what they do, and you have to shit on other players regardless of
The
what
quote
happens.
is mental, by the way. Even shit like Havertz. Where's those quotes from? Like, who quoted that?
Yeah.
And
JC is like world champions for a reason. PSG and Liverpool no.
Liverpool don't know because we weren't in the Club World Cup.
I don't understand why.
no, he
do
means
this.
because Chelsea beat your ass last
Duh.
game. You know
JC,
how.
JC, put that
I think
chest out.
illogical
Man.
because Chelsea didn't beat PSG this season. So which one is it?
They beat PSG in the final
Yeah, of last season, not this season.
this summer.
خلاص أشرف.
By the way,
يعني
I
don't
disagree with his
and
point.
everything.
I disagree.
يعني
I'm just trying to explain
خلاص
his
اوكي
point.
big up world champions Chelsea. So أشرف is happy. خلاص انبسط.
United
with
are
him anyway.
also.
You argue
United are also.
semantics every time. يعني.
Allah. United are also not voluntarily terrible.
And you still talk about him, Hamid. No one talked about United. Hamid brought up United in the stream. No one else did.
Do you know what's
Hold
that.
astonishing? Actually, do you know what's astonishing?
Yeah.
Amit supports AC Milan, but we mentioned Inter, Chelsea, Liverpool, PSG, United, and we haven't mentioned AC Milan.
Hamid needs to worry about his club having no financial power
Dan,
no more.
what do you want to
having
say,
become a
Dan?
selling club because they're not in Europe this year. Wait until Liao leaves you as well, Hamid. Okay? Don't lose them to Arsenal fans because they'll run you out of YouTube.
Isn't Pulisic their star man at the moment?
Yes.
They're just full of Chelsea.
You want to know
anyway,
something?
but-
I actually looked at AC Milan's team from 20 years ago. I don't even think Leao would make the squad.
Nah, he wouldn't.
course he wouldn't.
You're right. You're right. He
No
wouldn't.
one would.
Leao wouldn't even make match day squad 20 years ago.
Wait, not a single player, Hussam, in their team today would
And
make
now
it 20 years ago.
Pulisic is your best player. Damn, it must
Nah,
be sad.
probably wouldn't.
Not
Probably
a
But to be
single
fair,
player.
I mean, most of our players might not make that squad, to be honest. Or
You
at
know
least
what? Then I'll
definitely-
go as far as to say they probably had players on the bench that are better than players that are starting today. I don't even remember their bench 20 years ago. So that's how good they were.
No, their team
Yes.
20 years ago. We're talking 2005. That's like prime AC Milan.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Yeah, that's the one
actually
actually
one of the
they
best
played in the final with. Yeah,
yeah.
against Liverpool.
I
Haaland
think
makes
fair
that
point.
team. Salah makes that bench. Haaland makes that bench.
Just as I tell you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
they,
not
had
the starting 11. Yeah, yeah.
they had Crespo and Shevchenko and Inzaghi
Salah
on the
does not get
bench.
in that
And
team.
so,
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, look at this camera straight in the eye and tell me right now that Inzaghi is better than Haaland. I dare you.
what?
You
Who is
believe Inzaghi is better than Haaland?
Inzaghi cannot lace Haaland's boot. What are you talking
I
about?
agree. Thank you very much.
What are we talking about here? Yes, I am tense. You, Staff is doing that.
I love how these guys are right on about United, and no one. I don't even big up United. I don't know why they're bringing it up. You came to the wrong person.
That's how
bro.
you know they're rattled.
Are we gonna
Staffy.
go back to the football talk? Staffy enjoyed the Chelsea
عملنا
Club
لك
World Cup
شوية
game.
سوبر شات ما تحترم
يا
نفسك
عم
بقى
no, why
في
are you
يا
bitching
عم
all
عامله
the
بتوسخ ليه انا
The
مش
whole
عارف يا
thing
عم ما
is bitching.
الشو ماشي
You're
زي
making
الفل
money,
اهو
bro.
ايوه
Fucking
في
fraud.
الكاميرا زقتنا
يا اخي قرفنا كل ما نحكي كلمه can I get back to the
Man, I can't
football?
understand what you're saying, man.
we're just sharing on him.
Have some
in
respect
Arabic.
for the other two.
They're just cussing me in Arabic for real. Staffy
Who's
enjoyed
Arabi?
the
Don't do that. Sorry, go ahead.
Staffy enjoyed Chelsea Club World Cup games. How about Chelsea versus Liverpool?
Staffy did go, to be fair. He did go.
I did. I went to 3 Chelsea games. Yeah,
Did you think we were good, Staffy? What games did you go to?
I went to the last group stage one, which was pretty much dead in Philly, and then I went to the semi-final and the final.
Come
I
on.
went to the PSG game. I was
saw
sitting right
greatness.
behind the goal when Cole Palmer was just cooking Donnarumma. So, but yeah. He's saying, how about Chelsea versus Liverpool? I thought Chelsea was very good last game. Very impressive win.
How could anyone not enjoy that Chelsea Liverpool game? It was two teams open, both trying to win the game. Like it was actually entertaining to
Especially
finally
when
see
you
a
go
Premier
live.
League game do that.
It was lit. It was lit.
Whether you're Chelsea
It was a very good game.
fans or not, or neutral, I can't see how that was an enjoyable game. Like for me, that's how every game in the Premier League should be played. Both teams openly trying to win the game of football, actually trying to play football.
Is that a
I don't wanna
Arteta
see
we just did?
Burnley sitting back against. I want to see Burnley go and at least try and get something out of that game against Liverpool. That was like that game was so boring. That Burnley Liverpool game. I think it's like one of the worst ones this season.
That's definitely an Arteta this, by the way.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an Arteta this.
Wait, what?
When you said that's how everyone
Yeah,
should be
don't
approaching
even try
games.
that. Don't even
No,
try.
no. I wouldn't do that.
We
but
know what
you guys
meant.
are way more on that sort of dissing and that than me. But I just think that there are too many managers that are just sort of sat in that boat where they'd be way happy to sit there and get a result out of barely playing.
Ashraf seems familiar to you,
bro.
I'm Estefao now. Yeah, I like that name.
Bro, what is Lewis doing, bro?
Estefao is crazy.
For Chelsea, as the target.
You're the Barcelona fan. Lewis thinks Caicedo's on the level of Pedro.
Huh?
Ooh,
In his position, yeah, but I think Pedro's better than him. They're not similar midfielders, so it's hard to compare.
Is Caicedo the best DM currently in the world for you, stuff?
He's definitely up there. He's top 3.
Lewis thinks he's the same level as Pedro, just so you know.
who in the world is up there? with
Pedro's
him,
top 3 in his position, so equally,
Exactly.
I think.
You gotta know who are the names with him? That's the question. It's not crazy.
The
to look
DM
at the
as a number 6, yeah.
Yeah, like, who's the names that was going to bring to the table?
It's very
And
good.
then it provides. But that's the context you need, right?
Very good question.
I mean, when you look at him, who would you name in the world right now
That's my point,
as
Staffy.
the best 6s/8s?
Who's a 6?
De
That's
Jong.
great.
Rodri. Rodri's in there. Injured or not.
Rodri.
But Roger hasn't been playing like it.
He hasn't
But
been
we
playing,
know
but
when he
He's
is.
still in there. I just think he's still in there.
Of course,
I
he
think
won
it's
Ballon
two
d'Or, but
weeks,
kind of
isn't
right
it?
now on form, like who's up like past a year or so? Who's
It's
up
been
there?
way too long right now for me to be saying that. Yeah. To me,
I
it's
actually
that
agree with
easy.
this take. We're not until
Doesn't
Rodri
sound-
comes back. We're not gonna just put him in that like always gonna be there, because who knows if yes, at his time in 23-24 he was better. It's season 24-25 is past. Now we're 25-26 and
have we
he's
got
been
enough-
getting injured.
But have we got enough evidence to say he's got worse? Because I don't think we've got enough.
Yeah,
evidence.
And that's the
sometimes,
issue. Then he didn't
Actually,
get worse. He
Dan,
just got
every time
injured.
sometimes he stepped on the pitch this season and he had good
'cause,
games
like-
and actually bad games.
Yeah, but look at Reece James, right? Reece James has like had compliments this season that he was getting 2-3 seasons ago before like all the injuries getting in the way. It's not like he just suddenly lost all ability. He just got an injury. For a player like, okay, when you get players and their whole game is around pace and the injury completely destroys any acceleration and explosion that they got, I can understand it. But someone like Rodri, I feel like that sort of injury, he can come back and still play the same game with or without that sort of injury.
100% he
I don't think
can. I think I think he can, but until he gets back, I think today, if you're asking me, okay, let me just tell you that for the next, I'm not going to go throughout the season. For the next 5 games, if you're asking me, pick a DM the next 5 games between Rodri and Caicedo, based on circumstances, I'll choose Caicedo. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
I can
argument
pick
with James.
Rodri. Number 1, I can pick Rodri and he can hold his hamstring. I can pick Rodri and he's
As well, it's the same argument with James, right? Like James's peak is nowhere near as good as Rodri's, obviously. Rodri on Ballon d'Or, etc. trophies.
Yeah.
But the point still remains. It's still the same logic where James was out for a while. So even though he was out for a while and he was cold, you can't put him up there with the top right backs. Even though in quality wise, probably is. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter who we're talking about. It's the same logic. So
same as Reece James same as Reece James and Timber, for example. Yes, I like Reece James, but the majority of the people now, if you ask them who's the best right back currently in the league that you would choose for the next 5 games, you choose Timber. Even though a lot of people would argue that Reece James has more ability as right back than Timber because he better in crossing, better in passing.
The reason why I disagree with that is because I would still choose James. But obviously, the availability would make him go out of the conversation. If availability wasn't in the conversation, I'm choosing James even for 2 months.
If availability wasn't in the conversation, are you choosing Rodri or Caicedo?
Rodri. Obviously.
No question. Yeah, no question.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
That's
still
what
think
I'm saying.
Rodri's
Like, I'm not going to be
in
stupid.
that
Like,
discussion.
Not even. I don't think.
But also, when
James
you guys are
I'm
saying is the
taking James every single day of the week. I'm not taking Timber.
Yeah.
But James is
When-
never fit. So
when
it's
you
like,
guys say the best 6 in the world, because I do think he's the best 6 in the world, but I'm only saying 6 in the sense that DM who tackles and wins the ball back. But are we including players like Vitinha and De Jong in that conversation? Because then the conversation changes.
Again, we're gonna now we're gonna go back. I presented this argument plenty of times, and I'm gonna say it once and for all, and I don't want to say it again. Caicedo is a very similar thing to Frank Lampard, and I actually was like I did this couple yesterday about the tweet. Because Lampard scored a lot of goals, people ignore the other aspects of his games, right? That happens with Mohamed Salah as well, because Mohamed Salah scores a lot of goals. People ignore that Mohamed Salah still tops the league in assists, top the leagues in chances created. Because Caicedo is number one in tackling and interceptions, people ignore that Caicedo actually gets a lot more involved than what you think in the build-up play, passing. You watch Caicedo pass, he plays through passes.
I never said he didn't.
He plays diagonals. The majority of people say that he's so good in tackling and interceptions, so they ignore completely that he's very good in passing. He might not be,
but he's nowhere near. No, but he's nowhere near Vitinha or De Jong or Pedri. That's the point.
And Vitinha is,
but they're nowhere near him in terms of defense.
But I'm going to tell you. Can I tell you about my take? He is closer in passing to Vitinha than Vitinha is closer to him in tackles and interceptions.
But that's not the point. I can push back on that argument and say, if I take Vitinha from PSG and I put Caicedo, they're a worse team for the way they play. And that's the best team in the world.
I don't think that's true.
I think they're a worse team. When I say worst team, sorry. Worst team sounds bad. When I say worst team, I mean they're not as good. They're not as good. Maybe that's
worst. Speaking of Salah, did you actually see the Salah got 218 votes in Cameroon to be elected for parliament, bro? This guy, it's actually funny.
It's completely irrelevant to what we were talking about. Yeah, but I think counter what you just said, man. Any Salah glazing, bro. You just completely brought anything that's irrelevant.
Because people go like, "Oh, Salah's not respected in Africa, and no one likes Salah." Blah, blah, blah. That's a
put the validation in the bag, man. Let's continue. As I was saying,
I was going to say that
something funny. Fucking hell. You must be
instead of you saying that you can argue if he goes into that PSG team instead of Vitinha, he'd make him a little bit worse. I kind of hear what you're saying. I do think, though, if you put Vitinha instead of Caicedo in that Chelsea team, I think that Chelsea midfield becomes a lot worse because they lose all their ball-winning ability there. Correct. Chelsea would be a lot worse with Vitinha than PSG with Caicedo.
Yeah, but that's because they have no one else. If I suddenly say there's Zubimendi at Chelsea, for example, they will be worse off, I agree, but it'll not be that big of a gap. It's the same example. The reason I'm saying that with PSG is because the way they play, every single midfielder has to be elite at ball playing, including Fabian Ruiz. And which is why I'm saying, I'm not disrespecting. I think Caicedo is the best. I think Caicedo is the best, like, DM in the traditional sense of DM who wins the ball back, but he can also do the other things. I agree.
Yeah, but
I think
he's
number one in the world
as well. Like, he is very good.
I don't think he's elite.
No,
elite on the ball.
His ball
elite for me is Pedri.
No, honestly,
that's very high standard. He's talking.
Okay, Mo.
Yeah,
but Caicedo's hitting very high standards. Like he'll have games where he'll come off and he would have misplaced like one pass, if that. Like his pass completion numbers are a joke, as well as all the defensive ability. He quite easily would get into that PSG team, with or without Vitinha being in it or not. I'd be more than confident of that. I think obviously they play a different role, but I think he'd be comfortable playing in that team if he had to step into Vitinha's role. If he had to play as a 6, an 8, I think he'd be fine. I think honestly, there's a level of underrated opinion around just how good Caicedo's been especially in the last sort of 6 to 12 months.
I agree with this. People, because he tackles a lot, people think that he cannot pass. He's very good in passing, in my opinion, to be honest. People just don't like to say that.
And he has, do you know what he has where some DMs don't have it? He has the ability to pass forward through lines to create opportunities and to put runners into play and to find those passes into the final third, which I think some DMs can win the ball back, but their passing range will be way shorter. I think Caicedo has the ability to find passes.
But I would argue some of the best DMs in the world have that ability, like Gravenberch, like Zubimendi, like Chouameni.
Well, yeah,
like
he's probably above them right now, isn't he? I think Caicedo's probably
on the
above
ball.
those.
And he's above them. Let's not get twisted. Like, how your team does overall makes a massive difference. Vitinha a year ago, before the team clicked, was just another midfielder in the league in France. He weren't great. He weren't special. Whereas in the Premier League, no one was sitting here going, how's he gone to France? Is he going to be a world beater? No one was saying that. He just performed in the system, done well, to a very high level, by the way. And now he's well-renowned as one of the best midfielders in the league. Let's just say Chelsea kick into gear, hypothetically speaking, and midfielder Alden becomes so great, and Joao Pedro starts banging goals, Cole Palmer comes back fit, Caicedo keeps doing what he's doing, the same job. Guarantee this time next year, it won't be a debate. That's how football works. So I understand it's a team sport, and Caicedo won't get the props with Chelsea sitting 4th in the league, making it to quarterfinals again, bumped out by Bayern Munich again, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, he's doing his job to a high level, and people saying you can't pass the ball and it's not technically sound are looking at results. They're not actually watching the guy play football. Clearly, I get it. Obviously, shin kicker, he's not on the eye as pleasing as other midfielders in the world, but I think it's a bit lazy because he doesn't get in certain teams. I think that's a bit silly for me. Don't you think?
I think he's good. I just don't think he's like. I think from the defensive, I think on the ball he's really good. He's underrated. I just don't think he's anywhere near.
He'd start for every team in world football right now.
I don't think he starts for PSG.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
He'd start
the best team in the world, the best midfield.
What they do is they'd remove Fabian Ruiz. They probably play Neves. They probably play Vitinha, and they probably allow Caicedo just to sit in there and allow those other two players to go and run the show as they do.
Or they would bench Neves for him.
Neves
is technically the runner for them.
Come on in. I think it was actually in the game against us, and they actually got a little bit more control in the game because they arguably didn't have it in the final.
I also don't think he starts for Barcelona either. By the way,
I think he probably gets
would
the
100%
Barcelona team.
I don't think
in a
who
different,
would in
in a
the place
different
of
role.
him?
Probably
They would play him, De Jong, and Pedri.
Yeah, I
so
think
you'd have to switch De Jong. But...
No, but then who would play the more? Because they don't do that. They play Fermin Lopez as the more attacking midfielder, or sometimes Olmo. That doesn't make sense.
No, but that's what I'm
saying. They'd remove that attacking midfielder and probably allow Pedri to have the freedom, right? Because
I really doubt they would, because the reality is when Pedri plays in the 8, that's when they've dominated all teams, and that's why they won the treble, domestic treble last season.
They wouldn't not dominate if they had De Jong, Caicedo, and Pedri running the midfield. They'd still dominate.
They wouldn't miss out on Caicedo just to play Fermin Lopez. No disrespect.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Sorry?
I said they wouldn't miss out on Caicedo. If they were given the opportunity to sign Caicedo, they wouldn't say, no, we're not going to sign him because we want to play with a 10.
Signing is a different thing. But starting is a whole different. They don't bench Fermin Lopez for Caicedo. 1,000,000% they don't. Bro, their DM last season before he got injured was Caicedo. He wasn't the best ball winner. He's elite on the ball. They play with 3 incredible ball playing midfielders who dominate possession. Like I watch every Barca game.
I agree with Ashraf. I don't think Caicedo starts at PSG.
Never. You'd never start for them.
He'd start.
Yeah, but you hate Caicedo anyway, so.
Personally, I don't.
I'm saying he's the best DM in the world.
No, not you.
I don't think he starts at Madrid either. And we're
no, sorry. I disagree there. He's way better than Tchouaméni. He definitely starts for Madrid.
He'd start for Madrid, 100%.
If he starts for Real Madrid, he starts for Barcelona and he starts for PSG. And
he doesn't. PSG play a different midfield. They don't play with a DM like Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni is exactly like Caicedo.
Yeah, but Ashraf, this is exactly below the PSG midfielders and Barca midfielders.
He what? Sorry.
He's technically below the PSG and Barcelona midfielders.
That's what I said as well.
Yeah, but this is where we're doing too much here, because technically I don't think he's that far off them. I think he's closer than what is being suggested in that argument, and I also think he brings way more to those midfields defensively than what either team.
Yeah, but those managers don't want to do defensive football.
Yeah, but they need their team to retain possession.
They actually don't need their team to do
it. They do.
Because one team won the treble and the other one won the league.
Hold on, stop. Dan, I actually think that I would agree with them. Nor PSG, Hansi Flick and Luis Enrique, they actually don't ask their actual midfielder to defend the role. They play fucking bro. I've watched Barcelona. De Jong and Pedri and Fermin Lopez would be walking back, and the opposition would have the ball trying to attack. They would be walking back.
Yeah, because it's not in their mentality to do so.
Because the manager even
why would Enrique
that's why someone like Caicedo.
That wasn't the argument, Mo. The argument was we were comparing them quality for players in that midfield. Now, if you ask me how Enrique likes to play, sure. I remember Enrique in the World Cup. He was putting Busquets in center back, I think, something like that. He doesn't really care for defensive-minded players.
He played Rodri as center back. That's not true.
Bro,
he played Rodri as center back.
Busquets? I don't remember. I do remember one of them was in center back.
Yeah, it was Rodri as center back and Busquets. But that's the point, by the way, because he wants to.
It's still the same point, exactly.
It has nothing to do with Caicedo's ability. It's just these two managers.
No, but that was the argument in the beginning, Mo.
To the point that he wouldn't even entertain.
Momo, that's not the logic we were using, because we weren't saying what would a manager do. Because I'll be honest, by that logic, it would mean that Amorim wouldn't take fucking Lamine Yamal on his team because he plays 10s and he doesn't play wingers. Who gives a fuck about that logic? We're talking about player for player.
You want to talk about Caicedo? Let me tell you what I think about Caicedo. I generally think overall package, for me, Caicedo is better than De Jong overall package. And the reason why I'm saying this, there is a
Yeah,
reason why
I agree.
there is a reason why I say that. Because De Jong would work in 1 to 5% of the teams in the world. Caicedo would work in the majority. Let me finish.
You're missing what Dan said. Dan said he would start. Okay, so here's the thing. Dan says he would start for PSG in Barcelona. So now logically, me and Ashraf are supposed to put
I actually
Caicedo
said he'd
the
start
way.
at any team in the world.
The way. Okay, see here, he just doubled down.
I'll double
So now
down.
So now I have to put Caicedo with the way Enrique plays football. Does it work? No. I have to put.
No,
him
but that's
with the
not
way-
what you meant. Sam, he's talking about just quality. He's good enough to get in every team.
You're just
Moving on to PSG.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Let
You're
him
actually
talk.
changing- Staffy's changing what Dan says just so he can like win the
But
argument.
Dan never talked about
But
what
Dan-
managers
Dan-
do. He was just talking
Dan-
about player for player quality.
I can tell you
Can
what
I
I said
talk?
and what I meant. I can tell you what I said and what I meant.
speak? When I take Caicedo and I put him in PSG, by definition, they're gonna play Luis Enrique ball, whether you like it or I like it or not. That's who the manager is. That's what they play right now. If I take him and put him in Hansi Flick Barcelona, they're gonna play Hansi Flick football. Now, at those two clubs, he's technically the level below the midfielders over there, which is why he would not start. for
He's
them.
not, anyways. I
Great,
get what you're saying, but he's
great.
still wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong. He's
No,
not
he
technically
might
below
be.
this guy. So I'm talking about like he's a scrum.
Guys, let me answer.
No, Sam talks about Caicedo like he's Ugarte. That's how Sam sounds
No,
like.
yes. Now,
No,
overall package,
no.
Osam, do you think overall package, who have better package overall in the
One
world? than
Hampshire.
I said? Mesh.
Big up, I gotta go.
Big up, Staffy. Big up, Staffy.
Big up,
Love that
Staffy.
Say that, bro.
Sam, who has better package than Caicedo? Package
Mo,
overall.
that sounds horrific, man. You can't say that.
Yeah, by the way,
Okay,
that's
man.
wrong, Mo.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay,
Phrase it
anyway.
in a better way. But anyways,
As
yeah,
a
go
football player, we're not going there.
ahead. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Seriously, Osam, who do you think has a
Has-
better package as a football player than Caicedo?
Better a lot.
A lot of players, better
Not
package
like-
in terms of
No,
balance.
no, he means it's a
defensive.
DM. He means it's a DM, not. You mean
No,
it's a
he said
DM,
that.
right, Mo?
Yeah,
I'm
as
with
a
all due
DM,
respect,
yeah.
We're not gonna do what Staffy just did to me again because he just said as a football player. So you
Oh,
as a
football
midfield-
player.
No. As a football player, there is a lot. Like I'm talking
Yeah,
as a DM.
Yeah,
and
Rice is more as a
Maybe.
football. Yeah.
No, not as a football player. Like as a midfielder, who would you
He-
take ahead of Caicedo?
as a
Not
midfielder,
10.
same thing. Okay, who would I take ahead of Caicedo as a midfielder? Because that's your question. I
Yes.
take Vitinha, I take Fabian Ruiz, I take Joao Neves, I would take Pedri, I would take Frank de Jong because you said as a midfielder, not me.
Okay.
I would take Camavinga as a midfielder because you said it, not me.
Say Rice.
would-
Say Rice.
I would
Rice,
take
come on, Rice.
Enzo. I would take McAllister. I would take Declan Rice. I take Zubimendi.
Over Caicedo.
He said as a
He said
midfielder, not
a
as a
footballer,
DM.
not-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but hold on. Even as a midfielder, remember, Sam excluded all the
See how he
10s.
changed his question as a midfielder.
I didn't. Which you're right, as a midfielder, yeah. But he never mentioned 110, guys. And all this, he never mentioned 110.
Because you said as a midfielder.
Which is, I disagree with a lot of these names, but fine. As a package.
By the way, I disagree with a lot of the names as well, but I do think there are 4 or 5 midfielders I would take over Caicedo.
Yeah,
Like
he said as a
sentiment and
midfielder, Habibi.
Yeah.
I think that is crazy, actually.
I think you guys need to watch more Chelsea games. That's all I'm saying. Just watch
Yeah,
Chelsea a little bit more.
Can I just tell you something, Dan? This
Well,
argument has always been said. I guarantee you, Sam watched every single 90 minutes of Chelsea because he did every watch along for Chelsea this season. And I watch every single game for Chelsea. I don't know about Ashraf. He can talk for himself.
I've watched like 4 or 5 only. Yeah.
So I've watched
there you
every
go.
single.
5 games.
I think I don't know why Sam is not liking Caicedo to the way that
We already
others
know,
like him.
we know why.
I just
We
think
know.
Chelsea
And
fans
it
overrate
has
Caicedo.
nothing to do with the rejection thing. It has nothing.
Yeah, Chelsea
Of
fans
doesn't.
completely overrate
Of course
Caicedo. When you tell me he starts for PSG, he doesn't. You tell me he starts for Barcelona, and he doesn't. I'm sorry, with all due respect.
I don't see how he doesn't start for PSG, and I don't see how he doesn't probably get in the team for Barcelona unless
Because
you
he's
have to
technically
radically
the
change
level
the.
below the 3 over there.
But we're not
He's
going to
not-
go
he's
and repeat
definitely not.
ourselves. We're not going to go repeat ourselves there. Okay.
The Chelsea midfielder that starts for them is Enzo, not Caicedo.
No, he does.
I don't think Enzo starts either. I think that's also crazy. I
Nah.
don't think Enzo starts for them.
I think Enzo
And
can
that
do.
is, I think
I
that
think
is Sam's
Enzo can
problem.
do everything that Luis Enrique expects of a midfielder. Enzo can do it.
And that's
Yes,
I
but
think
not
this
to that
is-
level, in my
Ashraf,
opinion.
I think that is the problem. Sam thinks that Enzo is technically, what I mean by technical is on the ball, passing, range stuff.
Yeah.
Is levels above Caicedo, which is
No,
this is
he's
what I
not,
disagree.
though.
Now
not.
you're
He's
changing
not.
my word. I never said levels. I said the level above. There is difference between.
No, but
levels
I
and
actually don't
level.
think he is, though. I see Enzo give the ball away for less risky passes way more often than Caicedo, and I probably see Caicedo complete as many, if not more, riskier passes than I see Enzo Fernandez complete.
That's what I keep saying, but nobody believes me.
Enzo is behind Caicedo in level of players at Chelsea. Like, Caicedo is probably number 2 behind Cole Palmer.
Fair
Some
enough,
people
if you
think
think-
one.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
but he could
agree
be
with
one,
that.
Ches. He could be
Yeah.
one.
I'm
One
just
because of
talking
the
about
extension,
technique
right?
here.
I disagree with
I'm
that.
only talking about technique here. The two players in your club currently, in my opinion, who are the most technically gifted are Enzo and Joao Pedro.
No,
Those
that's
are
not.
the two.
Oh no, it's not true. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Are
that's
we
just not
talking
true.
about technique or are we talking because?
No, I'm
Palmer-
talking about
Palmer-
pure technical
Palmer
ability.
So you
Palmer
think
and
Caicedo has
Palmer
more
and
technical
Caicedo-
ability
yeah.
than Joao Pedro?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yes.
Oh,
Joao Pedro will
no.
lose.
No, but hold
Ashraf,
on.
but I'm the crazy one, Ashraf. See?
But hold on.
Come
What
on,
do you mean
man.
by? Can you define technical ability then?
yeah, because you just said technical ability. What do you mean in particular?
What do you mean by
Touch,
that?
first touch, dribbling, yeah.
Touch, receiving the ball, passing,
Yeah.
finishing, shooting.
Technical
I'm saying
attributes
Palmer's
of the game.
the most technically sound for me.
Yeah, I
No,
agree.
I would say Lavia is technically better than Caicedo
Yeah,
on the
Lavia's a
ball. On
good
the ball.
shout. No,
Yeah,
he-
on the ball, I
probably
think-
not, though.
I think he is.
I
I think he's a
no,
better
I don't.
dribbler. I think he's a better passer. I don't know.
That's clearly what he's saying, by the way.
I
I'm
think
gonna
he's
tell you
definitely
what-
better on the ball. Lavia
Okay,
is
let me
definitely better on the
let me
ball
tell
than
you why
Caicedo.
I think Caicedo is better than Enzo Fernandez. Number one, receiving the ball under pressure. I think Caicedo is actually miles better than Enzo Fernandez, in my opinion. By the way, first phase of build-up play, Caicedo doesn't lose the ball.
Miles
We know
better is a stretch. He's not Miles better.
he's better. He's better.
Enzo can receive the ball. Enzo can receive the ball under pressure. It's not using.
And in the first,
can.
in the first, maybe not miles better, maybe better than him. In the first phase
Enzo
of
is
the
a very good Premier League footballer. The problem with him is inconsistency. And like what Daniel Hassam said,
but that's
is
a
he-
massive part of it. That's a
Of course it
massive
is.
part.
That's why the rate. But
Because
his
if you do it-
inconsistency still- Ramon,
Yeah, but-
Consistency, by the way,
still
you've
makes him
already
better
lost
than
the
most
argument.
people
But
in the
hold
world.
on,
Nothing to do with
Shez.
technique.
Him, if I don't do the same thing over and over, that means I can't judge you based on that. Caicedo is doing that thing that you're talking about over and over
No,
again.
you're
So by
talking about
definition,
two
that is
different-
better.
No, you're talking. Hold on. You're talking about two different levels. Caicedo's, Pedri's, Vitinha's are extremely consistent, which is why they're here. Enzo's and
that's what I
stuff are
think.
consistent to a different degree. That's why they're there.
The talent does not make, okay, anybody that is talented is not going to make me give you that attribute unless you do it consistently. Because I've seen players that cannot make players that can have amazing games, but they
You've
don't
seen
do it
Enzo
consistently.
Fernandez in the past year get intercepted a lot. In
It was
half-time,
phenomenal.
on the ball. He hasn't been. That's what
Actually,
it is.
I'm going to tell you one thing. Last season, Enzo Fernandez, one of the reasons he was very good is that he was involved in the second half of the play, which is the opposition's
Bro,
half.
what was Enzo
Caicedo
Fernandez's
is the
issue?
one who gets involved in the
Yeah.
first phase.
What was Enzo Fernandez's issue against Liverpool? I'll ask Dan after. Did he have a good game to you overall, Enzo Fernandez?
Average.
Why?
I thought he was good.
He was
I want to
okay.
know based on
He
what.
was
'cause I've
better
got-
than Caicedo.
Well, I don't know.
Wait,
See,
Oh, I
that's
don't
an
know about
agenda.
that.
That's
I don't
definitely
know
an
about
agenda.
that.
That is an agenda.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm ignoring that.
for
Yeah,
you
whatever.
to say this, you're the
I'll
only one in the
understand.
world to say this.
But Mo, don't
There's only
sidetrack
one in
my
the world.
question, 'cause it's important.
I'm not the
Dan.
only one that says this. He's the one that started all Chelsea attacks, literally. Enzo.
Actually, it's
And
actually
for me,
factually
Enzo
wrong because it was
Fernandez-
Caicedo. Go ahead.
Bro, the reason why Enzo Fernandez had not a bad game, but an average game, even though the end pass was fantastic, whatever, is because of not the first phase, it's the second phase, which Dan was speaking about. It's the passes. He's not consistent at doing those through balls to Esteval, those through balls to Gittins. This was too off. A greater midfielder gets those 3 out of 10.
Yes, you remember
Well,
the passes were a little bit overhit,
That's
underhit.
my point. So
Yes.
even though he got the pre-assist and won us the game, essentially, overall, and running around was quite good. He was tenacious after Sam. He watched the game. Tackling him was good. Overall, he wasn't that great in the final third, which is our issue with him. It's not the first phase of play.
Let me do. Yeah, it's just a long conversation about Caicedo and let me do the super chats
It's
because
interesting.
Chelsea versus Liverpool open game or desperation. I don't know what that
Why does that
means.
have to be those two options?
By the way, this season, I just checked the stats. Caicedo has been clear of Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, I know that.
Clear on
By
the ball.
much,
It's not
yeah.
even close. Like
Yeah,
it's
I'm not
mental.
comparing them this season, actually. I'm just saying Enzo is
Guys,
still good.
this is not a joke, yeah. But Enzo Fernandez this season, I can barely remember when he's got on the ball, ran with it, and actually done what he wanted to do. I've seen him
Fact.
lose the ball so many times. If he's completed 10 dribbles, I'll be surprised. And I'm not doing him dirty there because I think he can be really good. But I genuinely, I just don't remember him doing better than that this season.
Our issue as a Chelsea fan isn't Enzo like receiving the ball or like getting a tackle in. He's actually got better. He's fitter on the ball in terms of running.
Yeah, he has, and I think I also think
he'll get in the space, through ball to get in, just hit it right, overhits.
Yeah. Or output-wise, Ches, he'll find himself arriving in the right place at the right time, and he'll
master performance. Mask it, because he'll get.
Let me finish this. Like and subscribe. Osam and Mo will use ever link up with troops and X in the future. I'm not sure, bro. I can't promise you anything. I don't link up. Like, listen, I got my guys here. I link up with them. They're great people. I don't need to link up with anyone.
They need to link up with him. Mo's nominated for new content creator of the year. He's the new big one in town, man.
Thank you, Hakai. Make sure to like the video, guys. We got about 400 votes and not 300 likes. Okay, saying Mo, has Hussam shown the Atleti game screenshot yet? Yeah, that one. This guys, you guys are not following this. This has been amazing. Every time. Yeah, but listen, look at us. Great in the Atletico Madrid game. Then a Chelsea fan saying both teams should play open. Football is quite fancy. When Mourinho was at a defense first and is not as open as Allardyce is.
That's just not true. Go and do research on Joe.
Let me just tell you something. That's the problem, Zain. I don't know how old you are. I'm not gonna assume, but anyone that says that Mourinho is a defensive coach have actually listened to the media and formed their opinion based on the Roma game.
Someone doesn't know what they're talking about.
All I have to tell you, Zain, is that Mourinho coached Real Madrid and scored 100 goals. He scored Inter. He coached Inter when we defended, which is logical. We defended against one of the best teams in the history of the sport, Barcelona, but we attacked other teams. When he played for Chelsea, I remember Joe Cole, Robin, Damian Duff. I remember these guys when he got Drogba. Chelsea were so fucking on the front foot from minute one to the last minute.
Even Diego Costa and Fabregas as well. What like that?
There is a reason why Michael Essien used to score. There is a reason why Michael Essien used to score. There is a reason why Lampard scored tons of goals under Mourinho, because he allowed his midfielder to push forward. If you don't know, Ivanovic used to bump forward from the right side a lot of times. Mourinho was very attacking, by the way. It's just later he has been defensive, if you want to say that.
He was only defensive in some of the big games, that's all.
Yeah, but he would go and win the big game and then be defensive. Like, he'd still get 1 or 2 goals and then retreat to being in a defensive setup.
He defends against teams that he thinks they are better than him on the ball, which is very logical to me.
Correct.
Mo, before you read the super chat, I think this is the same guy who put the super chat in before with a different name. I'm not even joking.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same reading when I'm reading it. It sounds the same as before.
No, that's not Tyler. I know that for a fact because that's English pound. The other one is Australian dollars.
Why is it the same super chat times 2?
I know that for a fact.
But Tyler Jones is a frequent super chatter, so I don't think.
Tyler always here with us, and Tyler is different. Chess is so quiet. You would think he's playing chess. We see you now. Tell us where Chelsea finishing after that win over Liverpool. Simple answer. You can answer this.
You want me to be old Chelsea? What's going on?
I can tell you one thing though. This super chat is definitely done by AI. Anytime you guys see a hyphen like that, the AI always drafts emails that way. 100%. So people, if you want to make sure your emails are believable or your super chats, delete the hyphen.
I don't mind. I'm not gonna call Scott. Like it's okay for you to take your super chat.
I know.
Send it to ChatGPT and say make it shorter, make it like. He wants to spend the £5.
When he says chess is so quiet, you think he's playing chess. He got that line also from ChatGPT. He didn't say clean up. Come on. Scott,
you got caught. My man, you got caught.
Scott, send us the prompt. Send us the prompt.
You say a lot in this one too. We know everything about you in this one.
Can you answer it then, chat, so we can move on?
Let me ask ChatGPT. Let me ask ChatGPT what to say back.
Yeah, just fucking answer it, you fraud, so we can move on.
Well, let me ask ChatGPT.
I like
Go on, Ches. Where are we going to finish?
I like
Ches?
Chess's response.
Where do you think you're gonna finish for real?
AI has told me to say, I'm not sure yet. More games to play. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Means to play more football games. And
No, Ches, are you sure it didn't say, I'm not sure yet, hyphen, more games to play?
And it suggested me to say, you want to gas up a bit more, be a bit more humble. So I've gone with a humble option.
Scott, to be honest, you spent £5, but you fucking got cooked, Scott.
Sorry, Scott.
No, Scott,
be humble, so
thank you for the my man. Thank you for the support. Answer the question then. Now, anybody can answer?
I still think top 5.
Top 5 is crazy. That's a big range.
Us winning this game doesn't mean anything when we lost to United and lost to freaking Brighton at home. It's just
okay. Let me rephrase the question. Do you think you have a chance of finishing second above whoever is going to finish first? Cheers. Or do you think that is very slim now?
Genuinely, it's too early to call. If this was 15 games in, even 12 games in, over 10 games, maybe I'll be able to better answer. It's too early.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
2 weeks ago, Liverpool going to walk the league. 2 weeks later, Arsenal.
That's very, very, very fair, to be honest with you.
Let's not do this.
Abdullah, all I see is agenda and hypocrite against Arsenal again. Any time that we criticize Arsenal, we have agendas. You didn't compare him with Isak, but compare him with that Sesko. But the Swedish fans prefer him. But we're not talking about Sweden. That's for Gyökeres versus Sesko. But we're not talking about him at Sweden. We're talking about him in the Premier League, Abdullah. So, with all due respect to your super chat, that is in the Premier League. Do you think he's going to be better than Sesko? It's a very simple thing. Aya, big up Aya for the big super chat. Nonsense. Caicedo has been rated for a while as an all-rounder DM with good tackling and driving with the ball. The DM that gets underestimated is Gravenberch, and he won the league. Caicedo has been good since Brighton. No.
With Gravenberch, I don't know his numbers, but defensively, I don't think I watch someone who's as accomplished as what Caicedo is right now as a DM. I think technically Gravenberch is really good on the ball. I actually think he's definitely a better dribbler than what Caicedo is, but I'm just not sure that
more athletic, better ball carrying. I think he's had a better first touch, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I actually don't know whether his future lies at an 8 for the rest of his career. Sorry, as a DM, I think he probably pushes on into an 8, something like that. I think he's.
Zaini said most disrespected DM is not Caicedo, it's actually Wharton. He's not a DM. Wharton is very good with the ball and is the only DM that drives with the ball in the final third. He's not a DM, but he's a fantastic player.
Either way, I barely see him drive the ball.
Yeah,
he doesn't really drive. He's not a ball carrier, Adam Wharton. He don't really run with the ball. I wouldn't say he does much running at all. I don't know.
Some of you guys are just the international break. That's what does to people.
Caicedo's agent.
I don't know. He's just sacked him, so maybe.
Yeah, he just sacked his agent, Hamid.
Yeah. Do you think that means anything? Does anyone think that means anything? Would you read anything into that? Or
apparently, it was something about trustworthiness.
Right? Yeah, I saw that.
I actually think he's gonna. I think Caicedo is probably for me. He's gonna about to sign an improved contract as Chelsea.
Yeah, probably.
Like what is
I don't see him leaving at
Palmer.
all.
I think Palmer signed an improved contract last season. I think it's time for Caicedo to sign an improved
contract.
Signed
2. You signed 2. Someone signed 2.
Back to. I don't know, but I think it's time.
Enzo,
maybe.
I think Enzo or Palmer signed 2, so they've signed one before and another one.
Ash, you like Marzo Kelly to play as an 8 some games?
Maybe. I mean, we do have very, very good depth, especially in the midfield. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Tiang Yang is laughing at Sam. Big up Tiang Yang for support. I told them Sesko, by the way, Diallo, this is someone who's an Arsenal fan who has been screaming all summer that Sesko is better than Gyökeres. Diallo, I hear you, bro. But we're yet to see. I'm not making my conclusion yet. But listen, I want to thank everyone that is here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks, Dan, for joining us on the show. Appreciate you. Ashraf, always pleasure. Shaz, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Hussam was here, Staffy. All the guys' channels are in the description. Shaz, Staffy, Dan, Ashraf, and Don Hussam as well. This will take you to MHF, where we have a great show later today. I want to thank everyone that joined us, guys. Diallo just sent the last super chat. Appreciate you, Diallo. that Sesko Gyökeres debacle has exposed so many frauds. But
Yeah, it
Sesko
hasn't
is-
exposed anyone.
the thing about it, it's not like Sesko has been playing as Haaland. Like, it's not like Sesko's been Haaland.
I would argue he's not been good at all. I think he's been average, maybe even below average.
I think that's fair.
Most of them has been fair, not great, but fair. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
It's fair, you know what I mean? Not great, not the
Yeah.
worst. But anyway, I'll see you guys on MHF in about half an hour, and I'll see you guys later.